you're running a business online, I think it's a little different. There's a few minor tweaks, and the good thing is you have the ability to structure your team in any way that you want. So I was in a Facebook group and people were like, how do I do this? Like, I need to hire all these people. I need to make this work. And yet I don't have the money to really invest in a team, and I'm not sure how to structure it so that it generates money for me. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. If you don't know me already, my name is Mariana. I help coaches to turn their group programs into six-figure revenue streams and scale their business. And part of scaling your business is making sure that you get the right support in your business so that you can really leverage and create that sustainable, recurring, actual business, okay? So there are three things that I really want to cover today as we're talking about running your profitable team. The first thing is mindset. The second thing is going to be some of the strategy and how to go about it. And then the third thing will be about managing, because honestly, that's a big piece of it, okay? So mindset. Are you viewing their role as an expense, or are you viewing their role as a profit generating role for you? And that was the biggest shift for me between 2016 and 2018. Okay. So in that span of about 2 years, I basically ended up discovering that I was running this ever growing ship. I was burning myself out because I was trying to bring in more and more and more sales to cover the heads of my whole team. And I had multiple people working for me, and it felt just like so pressury, and I did not feel good in my business. So what I did, first of all, I don't recommend you do this in this way, but here's what I did. I basically fired everyone and I started from scratch. I didn't do it all overnight, but basically that's what I did. And I just built my team from the ground up, and I built every single role to be a profit generating role. And that's what I'm inviting you to do right now, especially if that's feeling heavy, if you're feeling like you're running this ever growing ship and you aren't sure how each person is actually bringing you money. Right now, how we run the company, and I'm very honest and upfront with everybody, is you need to bring in 4 times what I'm paying you. That's like a part of their role. And so we've structured the KPIs and like what their focus is within the company to be based off of that. And the role, the job description, like all of that is built to be able to support that. Okay. So that's the first thing, is what is your mindset around building your team? Are you thinking that you need to bring in all this money to be able to support and pay for your team? Which in essence, yes, it's not like they're going to be making, 0 to 4 times their salary in the first month. However, that needs to be a goal if that's how you want to run your team and to run your team profitably. Okay. So that's the first piece, is how are we structuring, how are we thinking about each role? And are we looking at the profit generation that each role can bring in? The second piece is, really making sure that you've built out that role. So that's going into the strategy. So there's a few things with each position. You want to look at the job description, like what are they doing? The key performance indicators, and that is the things that they are responsible for moving the business forward. And again, that's where the profit producing piece comes in. And then also like short-term and long-term, right? So like I said, it's, we have to have a plan for them to get to the point where they are making in the money. So that's the other piece. And then the last thing is managing. So I had so much resistance to this one. I wanted everyone to just come in and like manage themselves and run themselves. And that's just not the way people are. So that required, number one, my actual input, my actual coaching, and my actual managing of my team. And then the next piece of that was staying up with it, right? So keeping up with the managing. And so what would that look like on a daily weekly, monthly, etc. basis. Okay. And making sure that we're there as a person of reference, as somebody they can come to, and really just coach and train them. Like, that was the wildest thing for me, was like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking that this is going to be the self-running thing, when in reality, the team that I'm building is like as valuable, and if not way more valuable than any coaching client I will ever have, because my team is what is allowing us to move my vision and my mission forward to help hundreds of people to, create, launch, and scale their six-figure group program, right? So without my team, I can't really do it. So that was a big shift for me, not only mindset wise, but also with the managing piece, right? It required me to step into my role as a coach for my team and really meet with them regularly to make sure that we're, talking about the right things, moving things forward, and they're actually improving within their role. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that I see, like when I'm coaching clients, is they want somebody that can just come in and do the role perfectly. And that does not usually happen. Even if you hire someone who has experience, who is a consultant, who's done things outside of it. And the reason that they're never going to do it exactly how you want it is because they need coaching and training on how you want it. Right? So they could be great at what they do, but they may not do it exactly how you want it or in the way that you want it or whatever. And so that piece is really, really important. So there's basically three things. I'm going to go over it. Number one is your mindset. How are you viewing employees in your company? How are you viewing, there's even more with mindset, because we can even talk about letting go of stuff. That's been a whole personal transformation for me personally as well, right? Is like letting go of control of things and all of that. But really mindset wise is like, are you thinking that this needs to be a bigger and bigger ship, and that you're going to have to cover the heads of everyone with your sales activities, therefore putting even more and more and more pressure on yourself? And what I find is that causes that feast and famine cycle, because then if you keep having this bigger ship, you're going to be taking your effort away from sales and into service, especially if you ever run a service-based business, and it's going to cause that feast and famine cycle. And instead, what I want you to think about is, how can the team build the profit for me? How can the team drive the growth of sales for me, so that I can then focus on service more of the time, so that I can focus on the things that I'm truly great at, that I love and enjoy doing. And we also even out the revenue that's coming into the business every single month. Okay. Second piece was strategy, right? And looking at the role description, KPIs, how is the role designed, and really the intricacies of that role to be sure that they're able to meet profit criteria that you want for the role. And then the third piece is management, and what are we doing to hold people accountable, to coach them, and to make sure that they improve within their role in your company. And no matter how experienced they are, knowing that it's going to take training and management to keep that up and to keep it at the level that you want their performance to be. That's what I have for you today. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button so that you can catch more videos like this that are going to help you to build a strong business online that can stand the test of time, that can help hundreds and thousands of people all over the world, and that makes a difference for those that you serve and show up for to lead. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next one.